nihilist.
No, I think there's a room for agreement here between the two of you.
I'm not looking for consensus, baby. I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the vein, as King Richard says. No, he's not in the vein. No, I'm glad he condemns religious violence. Does he condemn the promise of other people's territory to the chosen people, for example? Does Jesus say, or does he not say, I come to bring not peace but a sword? He does say that. Should I take it literally or metaphorically? Right? Yeah. Is genital mutilation of small boys mandated by Jews, and is it often mandated by Muslims, or not? Is there a paradise to which people can hope to get by dying for their faith, or isn't there? Has holy war been proclaimed by both the Pope and by the mullahs, or not?
And for me, that is about a God who offers but does not demand that I respond to him in this way. And I find that to be a very good summary of what the Christian faith is trying to say about a God who offers but does not impose. And again, those of you who are familiar with the New Testament will think of the imagery of Revelation chapter 3, which speaks of Christ knocking on the door and asking us to open, but leaving that action open to us.
Okay. Mr. Hitchens.
Not imposed? Did you really say not imposed? What if you reject this offer? What are you told what have you been told for centuries by Christians? If you reject this offer that took place by means of a torture to death of a human being that you didn't want and should have prevented, if you could. What if you reject the offer? If you accept it, you can have eternal life and your sins are forgiven. Oh, great. What a horrible way to abolish your own responsibility and get your own bliss. I don't want it. Oh, you don't? Well, then you can go to hell. This is not imposed. This hasn't been preached to children by gruesome elderly virgins backed by force for centuries. This hasn't poisoned whole societies. No, of course it's not voluntary. The Pope of Rome, as I call the Bishop of Rome, Mr. Ratzinger, Herr Ratzinger, has recently said, actually, it's worse than that. Only my version of Christianity can get you salvation. And there is only one way. I say it in Georgetown. There's only one. You presumably don't believe that because you're an Anglican. But on what basis do you tell the Pope that he's a heretic? Once you grant this stuff, once you start with this white noise chat about redemption, where is it going to end? Of course there's nothing voluntary about it. And I must say the book of Revelation seems one of the less voluntary texts of the... all it does is look forward gleefully to apocalypse, to the passing away of this veil of tears into our ultimate destruction. This is morality? I don't think so. And when you say it's voluntary, it's up to you, it's entirely optional. I don't think it's any more optional than Abraham saying to his son, do you want to come for a long and gloomy walk? Because God seems to be telling me to do something that had better be moral. Otherwise, it would have to be said that God had taken a perfectly normal person and asked him to commit an atrocity. Now, where else could that have come from? And millions of people every year celebrate this act of sadomasochism as if it proved that God loved us so much that he'd make us kill our own children, and then he decides to love us so much he'll kill one of his own.